Oh my God.
So Across the Spider-Verse just came out, and it's no surprise that it's a masterpiece in almost every category. The visuals, the story, the music, everything came together to create one of, if not the best Spider-Man movie. So let's talk about it.
It's better than love. It's better than girls.
Okay, don't get crazy.
Starting from the beginning, I love the way the film starts out, giving us a more fleshed out look into the origin of Spider-Gwen. We basically get a mini movie out of it, and seeing the differences in her origin was pretty interesting. Other than the great drama between her and her father, what stood out here was the art style. Every frame in her universe looks like a painting, and I love the unique way the background changes in almost every shot. Soon after, we meet some other Spider people, namely Miguel O'Hara, who I thought was a really compelling character in this. Before the movie, I didn't really care for 2099 Spider-Man that much, other than just for his cool design, mainly because my first introduction to him was in the Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions game, in which he was more or less a copy of Peter Parker but just in the future. But in this movie we get more insight into his backstory, and I love the fact that he's the main spider person tasked with this great burden of keeping the whole Spider-Verse together. It reminded me a lot of MCU Iron Man and his unrelenting anticipation for the war against Thanos. In fact, by the end of the movie, there's even a little bit of a civil war that starts between Miguel and Miles, and I honestly could see both of their sides, which is a testament to the strong writing. Spider-Punk is another character that stood out to me mainly because he's not just another fun side character like many of the others we've met before. He has this anarchical personality that makes him much more unpredictable and distinct. It really shows how meticulous the writers were in selecting which spider people to spotlight, because there's literally a million to choose from, but the right combination can lead to the best ensemble cast. Speaking of those millions, the cameos in this movie were amazing. Lego Spider-Man was really fun. I especially liked how they snuck in the newspaper headline in that scene from Spider-Man 2. We finally got to see Donald Glover don the Prowler suit, teased all the way back in 2017 when he appeared in Spider-Man Homecoming. We also got archival footage from the Tobey and Andrew Spider-Man movies, and even the spectacular Spider-Man himself gets a line in this film, which for people who don't know, Spectacular Spider-Man is touted as the best animated Spider-Man show of all time. Honestly, I should probably make a video just about that at some point. The one cameo that really surprised me though was in the part where they mentioned the video game universes. Not only do we get the appearance of the Spider-Man from the highly acclaimed PlayStation game, we also see the Green Goblin from the 1982 Atari 2600 game. That for me was the peak deep cut. For anyone else who knows that sprite from the old Angry Video Game Nerd review, I salute you, because I never thought that was a thing I would see in a feature film. Moving on, the Spot was also a pretty cool villain. He started out a little too goofy for me, but I loved how he slowly evolved into this bigger threat over the course of the movie. The coolest part for me was when he said that he wasn't a good villain yet. I feel like that was the writers teasing us for what's to come, because by the end of the movie, the Spot basically becomes a multiversal god, and I loved how they even portray that evolution through a change in his design. Props to them for picking such a unique villain for this movie, especially one that's so visually fun to watch. And that brings me to my only gripe about this movie, which is the ending. I get that this is only part 1, but there's a way to do these endings without it feeling so much like a cliffhanger. I think they needed a season finale type ending, but what we got felt more like the ending of an episode before the season finale, if that makes sense. But anyway, go check out Across the Spider-Verse. Raimi's Spider-Man 2 is still the GOAT in my opinion, but this one is pretty high up there.